What's up, everybody? Okay, so here's the thing. I gotta get some voiceovers recorded. I don't know if you could hear me though, honestly. This might help though. Hmm. Does it? Does it help? Nope, it does not. Hey. Okay, let's see here. Getting going. Where's H.O.? What is the plus? Oh, is there chat? Chat filter. Okay. Here's the thing, guys. I really gotta work, so you can't distract me that much. Yeah, I guess you can. Hi! What's up? Rosie, say hi to my audience! This is my cat, Rosie.
What's up, everybody? I'm so excited to talk today. Sweet home Alabama.
She likes that song. Said hi. It just says said hi. That's kind of weird. Okay, so we're going to be going over some shows today. I have a lot to go over, though. I'm not excited about it. Start with some Hannah Montana. Okay. Rosie! Oh, shoot. I guess I need to record this. Nickelodeon. Now Nickelodeon Disney Channel. What's up? What's up, everybody? Welcome! Let's see here. Josh Nichols' hair cannot get to my level, unfortunately. I don't have a lot I'm confident about, but my hair, I have to die on that bridge. Is that the phrase, die on the bridge? I don't know. I don't know if I would die on a bridge. Would you guys? I would live on a bridge. No, I wouldn't actually. Jeez, I never would do any of that actually. Okay, I've lied to you guys long enough. Oh no! Yeah, there we go. Okay, I'm gonna. What do I got here? I do have to do some episodes. I have to record some stuff, guys. So please be patient with me. I'm here to have fun, right, Rosie? Oh, sorry, that's Rosie. Look, she got embarrassed. Classic embarrassment. Okay. Okay. Oh, I need to record myself actually. Be patient. Dang, the Hannah Montana cover on Disney Plus is kind of weird. In 1 second, guys. Okay, everybody, calm down. Sorry. Kitties, we're worried. You guys know how kitties can be. Ooh, that's a cool chair in the background. Just in case. Look at that. You guys like that? It's a nice chair. It's where I'm gonna have my guest stars. Okay. Let's see here. Sweet home Alabama. Okay, let's see here. Does anybody clean their rooms? I don't, and that's my issue, honestly. Okay. Yeah! Okay, cool. I like that. I like that angle. So let's start with. Let's see here. I'm gonna need headache medicine because I already know this is gonna give me a headache. Bad Moose Rising, Mascot Love. Okay. Rosie, you're so sweet. Okay, give me 1 second. Okay, I'm back. Here we are. Well, more people are here after I was away. That's kind of random. Okay, here we go. Where is... Hannah Montana is one of my favorite shows, so I'm really excited to do this. Kitty time! You see that? That's the tail of what we like to call in the industry a kitty. Guys, I put up my iCarly revival video. It's like 2 hours long, and I'm so excited to release it, but Paramount has been pushing back. They've been flagging my video at every chance. They even came to my birthday party, started flagging my friends. No, I'm just kidding. Can you imagine? That'd be such a funny response. But yeah, so if anybody likes that iCarly reboot and wants to see me talk about it, I have that coming up very soon. If Paramount doesn't take me to court. But I have a plan. I'm going to befriend Paramount. I'm going to take it to get ice cream one day. And then another day I'm going to buy that same ice cream once I figure out their favorite. And then I'm going to use it in court against them. What can you really do? Yeah, I realize that doesn't really connect for some people, but really I just kind of want to know what their favorite ice cream is. Dude, where are my videos? Okay. Sorry, friends. I'm just a poor boy. Nobody loves me. That's kind of dark. I'm actually not going to sing that. Just out of context. Put it on my LinkedIn. Okay, whatever. I'm going to start with season 1 episode... Where's season 1 episode 8? Okay, I'm focusing on Hannah Montana right now. Sorry about that, everybody. Oh, here we go. So I'm checking this out. Huh. Okay, let's try this. Let's see here. I've been having a lot of fun. Okay. Hannah Montana was nearly a perfect show. I loved everything about it, from the doubling as a blonde superstar to getting her teeth fixed on a live cooking show. Yeah, Hannah Montana had a lot of variety in the best way. It's really hard to find episodes that I felt like weren't good, because I love that show so much. So I'm kind of biased, but I did. I have this new series called the Offensive series, where I kind of talk about the worst episodes of TV shows. And of course, offensive is just a buzzword I'm using just because I guess that's what the algorithm likes. I mean, it doesn't matter if the algorithm likes toast. I'm not going to cook it for you and put butter on it, but I'm going to cook it for you and put butter on it. Anyway, so we're going to talk about some of the worst episodes in each season. I always try to stick to one, like what is the actually worst episode of this season. However, yeah, sorry guys, I get a little nervous. I usually have one. I usually choose the worst episode in every season, but then I also talk about a follow-up episode that I feel like is just as bad. I just like to give it a lot more variety, make these videos a little bit longer because it is fun to talk about. So for season 1, so if you're ready to see all the negative sides of this pop sensation, which if the news didn't show it to you already, I'm surprised, then it's time It's time to dive into the most offensive episodes of Hannah Montana. Let's start with season one, shall we? Season one, episode 8. We have a little episode I like to call, and literally the copyright office likes to call, season one, episode 8. What's it called? So this episode's called Mascot Love, and it's interesting. This whole show deals with Miley's double life, and this episode is one of the episodes that does that. They have 26 episodes in the first season, so they had a lot of time to establish what Miley's life is like, both on the celebrity side and the regular teenage side. And this episode feels a little bit redundant because it does everything the other episodes do, but slightly worse, I feel like. Mascot Love is about Miley joining the cheerleading squad, but since she can't be a cheerleader, she has to be the school mascot instead. It's this pirate. It's Petey. It's Pirate Pete is their mascot, which is like, what middle school has a pirate as your mascot? I mean, it's borderline offensive because you know how like they have those sports teams that have like older older tribes or like things that kind of relate to outdated cultural times. Like I don't know, that's just kind of what I see happening. And this head is so smelly. It like basically disgusts Smiley because not only is she not on the cheerleading squad, but they make her do something humiliating, something that she is not used to at all, being this superstar. Like it just shows at school that she is clearly not the person she wants to be. It kind of tests her in terms of being able to handle not having any attention and or her commitment to having this be a secret as opposed to just being an open celebrity and actually put herself out there, and it definitely deals with her complications of having that be at stake. We get a lot of really funny moments, like Oliver is the MC during this whole thing. Miley ends up getting in a fight with the opposing team's mascot, the flamingo. I was about to call it a pink pelican. Can you imagine the pink pelican? Yeah, so Hannah Montana, Miley is essentially fighting this pink pelican this whole episode, and I mean it's the first season. Like we got to cut them some slack. They're still trying to figure out what works. They did a lot of these plot lines, and they're trying to figure out like the best parts of them. And I feel like this was definitely just like a miss all around because it focused on a school extracurricular that wasn't really natural to any of the main characters. Like Lily is normally a sports girly, like we've established that many times. So for this episode, she's a cheerleader. Hannah Montana, Miley is not a sport. Miley is not a sports girly, nor is she like a super girly girly. Um, I feel like she's more stuck in the middle. She just wants to make friends and like actually form connections, which is really sweet. Something that none of us actively go out of our way to do anymore, which is kind of sad. Um, I was just watching Wizards of Waverly Place, and it's just so funny to think of how many shows did this trope of like joining the cheerleading squad. Like, what? Not all of us joined the cheerleading squad at that age. And I feel like most of us watching these shows were like somewhat involved in theater or things that were like a little bit more artsy because we spent time watching entertainment. I just feel like that was like natural. So seeing this episode was definitely it felt out of character. It felt like this was one of the misses of the first season that if this was like the first episode I saw, I don't know how I would feel about it. You got to admit though, it starts off pretty strong with Miley like running backstage and back on stage, fighting with or arguing with Lily about how busy her life is, which is definitely the role of a superstar. So to contrast that with her joining the sports team, like it's just all around it's a funny episode, but it doesn't actually do anything that Hannah Montana did best. So I had to put this as like the number one not best. Speaking of not good episodes from the first season, Schooly Bully, I think I made a video ranking all the episodes, but this one was also really out of place. Schooly Bully is season 1, episode 23. So this is like toward the end of the first season. Like they should definitely have their bearings about this time, around this time. Like Miley in this episode is focused on dodging a school bully, something that doesn't feel like it represents Hannah Montana necessarily at all. It just feels like it was kind of the time. Like back then was the day and age that we worried about what bullies. I can't really just say we worried about bullies just at that time. Um, I guess I want to say, okay. The only connection this episode had to Hannah Montana is the incorporation of Roxy, which, by the way, is one of my favorite characters. Like, I'm so happy we get a Roxy episode. And it's a funny concept. It's basically Miley can't defend herself at school, so she has her bodyguard from the Hannah Montana world come in and defend her, which is so crazy. It's definitely a funny concept, but I feel like they didn't lean into the joking part of it. They more so just used it as a plot device to try to communicate a couple things. And yeah, so it felt kind of unnatural to me, especially for the fact that it is already a comedy. Like they could have leaned into it a little bit more. They just focus on making fun of the school bully who was a stereotypical bully, like just this emo girl wearing makeup. Not really a fine representation of what a bully is, but back then I guess that's what we assumed they were. And she just like used a lot of intimidation tactics, like she's just like threatening Miley like outwardly, when really bullying could be nuanced sometimes. It's just somebody sometimes that they intending to hurt another person. And that's what this girl is doing this episode. I feel bad for this actress because it's a very one-dimensional character to have the bully. Like we've had more interesting episodes where people have gotten under Miley's skin, but they more so have to do with her celebrity life and not necessarily just her school life. Like I would love to have seen her be bullied by somebody a little bit more impactful, like Amber and Ashley. Like this just this random person doesn't really develop the plot any further, so I'm not really into this that much. Roxy being her first episode that she's like in the plot a lot, I have to give that credit because that is something that I feel like their best episodes have Roxy in it. So the fact that this one really didn't do too well wasn't super fun. They kind of play a lot on the bullying where it's like Miley getting hurt or Lily being intimidated. Like it doesn't really show them like having their character flaws put on blast or giving them an obstacle to overcome as well as other episodes. Like it's hard because Hannah Montana is one of the best shows I've ever seen. So going against it and being like, this is not a good episode is very nuanced for me. But I would say that this one feels just so off, and it could have been a Disney XD show at this point. They have a little side plot with the guy from Malcolm in the Middle, which I find really cool. This it's funny to think that like Robbie and Jackson end up doing like this father son getaway, but they get put in a cabin with a giant heart shaped bed. And then they get snowed in and can't leave. Something that really doesn't have anything to do with the original A plot. Like it's just two random plots going separately. I mean, you got to hand it to them. The second part is really funny. I love that we get to see Hannah. I love that we get to see Jackson and Billy Ray try to like talk their way out of this snowstorm. They end up getting stuck with the guy from out they end up getting stuck with the guy from Malcolm in the Middle, and he actually has a dummy, which is horrifying. I hate when shows have a character have a wooden dummy. Like it's definitely owned by Goosebumps, Night of the Living Dummy, and I don't know why we have to bring it to Disney Channel, you know? Anyway, overall, this episode is just a little off. I don't think it represents the show too well, so that's kind of where I'm coming to with this. Then for the final episode, I really feel like let me down about this is On the Road Again, Season 1, Episode 12. And if you've seen my videos, you know I have an affinity for the Disney Channel crossovers. Like, I like watching them, just feel like they don't do a great job at putting out the fan service that they're promising. Kind of like when I put out a video and I say this is offensive, and then I never talk about how it's offensive. Yeah, I'm Hannah Montana-ing you guys. But yeah, this is the third part in the That's So Sweet Life of Hannah Montana crossover event, and it's the one episode that ends up not bringing any of the other shows back, which is really frustrating. That's why I had to put it on this list. It was definitely a really big disappointment to see this episode be so counterintuitive to what I loved about Hannah Montana. Like, Hannah is barely at the Tipton. We see a little bit of Ashley Tisdale, and then the entire episode redirects to be about Robbie Ray, something that is not really fair. So yeah, I feel like that episode of Hannah Montana, I couldn't not talk about On the Road Again. Oh, let me say a description real quick, actually. So yeah, the third part in the That's So Sweet Life of Sam. The third part in that Sweet Life. The third part in the That's So Sweet Life of where we start off at the Tipton, Miley and Ashley Tisdale get to have a cool conversation, but it becomes very quickly about Billy Ray. The whole episode ends up going back to the regular Hannah Montana set, so it's not really a crossover anymore, and just them dealing with their dad not being able to be famous anymore. Jackson and Miley kind of team up to give him that experience to go on stage and play once again, and he realizes that hey, my love is at home with my family, and I'm like, I just want to see Raven Simone and Zach and Cody, and you guys are taking me on a trip that I did not want to go on. It feels like I'm traveling 6 hours to a wedding I didn't want to go to. That was a joke, by the way. Then we get to the second season, so stop blasting on Hannah Montana. I feel like just from this point forward, it's never as bad as that one. Then we get Sleepwalk This Way. So Sleepwalk This Way is the second season of Hannah Montana gets a little redundant where they kind of emphasize Miley in high school as opposed to middle school like the first season. Her stakes are a lot higher. Being a celebrity is a lot harder to pull off. She has to deal with her celebrity friends a lot more. Like Tracy, for example, like she's in this season a lot. Things feel a little bit more saturated and exaggerated. They really lean into the comedy this season, which is definitely a plus for me. I feel like all every time like comedy is cleverly integrated, you've always got a Johnny 2000s vote. Like that's always the best kind of episodes. Let's see here. Oh, jeez. So this is season 2, episode 15, Song Sung Bad. And this one I kind of feel bad about because it's all of us making fun of Lily. Lily can't sing, and that's the premise of the episode. They have a school talent show, and Miley is essentially trying to break it to Lily that she's not a great singer, so she doesn't embarrass herself. But oh, instead of actually telling her the truth, Miley lies, something she never does ever. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, she lies a lot, and in this episode, it goes a little too far because it seems like she's like more worried about how she's going to be perceived by Lily than she actually cares about. I don't love the ones for this episode. Like that's ooh. Oh, sorry guys. I hate when this happens. Oh, I'm so sorry guys. That was annoying. But thank you for Thank you for complimenting my cat. I appreciate you guys. And for sticking through that entire like waste of me running to find my stuff. And I can talk about Alex versus Alex. I remember watching that special recently because I was going to do a video on it, but I kind of forgot to. Maybe I should do that like right next. Give me a second. Let me get these videos first. Let's see. I mean, I know you were just a fantasy. I mean, you know. Oh, sorry, I'm singing Hannah Montana, guys. Moving my stuff now. Ah! Oh my gosh, my mic was off. I hate my life. That's okay. Moving on. Not harping on it too long. I've got a nice cat. I've got a nice life. No, I'm just kidding. It's not that deep. Um. Thank you guys. I was gonna respond to the comments, but like yeah, I saw Alex versus Alex, that Wizards of Waverly Place special. I really want to do it because I saw it recently for a video. I just don't think I ended up doing that particular video. But let's move on from that. I gotta keep doing my Hannah Montana video, guys. Appreciate you though. Thanks for all being here. It keeps going in and out. Is the audio me? How's this? Yeah, this is as good as I can get, I think. Okay. Anyway. Hmm. It's so funny because it parodies that idea of like Spider-Man, like when Peter Parker worked at the Daily Bugle and he kept taking pictures of himself just to tell people. I love that Hannah Montana takes on that trope because it makes her seem more like a superhero. Like when I hear interviews about Miley or like the showrunners talking about this show, like they always talk about how like the wig is essentially a superhero mask. You know, the same way somehow nobody recognizes Miley as this main character, and this takes the journalism aspect of that plot device and spins it on its head while we see Miley actually go too far into this to a point where she ends up like embarrassing the heck out of Dwayne the Rock Johnson just so she can get away with it, but then realizes that she's her own monster. Yeah, Hannah Montana gets deep sometimes, and this is definitely a good episode. I feel like it's hard to find the episodes I don't like when I really like most of the Hannah Montana. But I do feel like Miley can be a little too cynical in this. The fact that everything is stemmed from wanting this O phone is not a great character organic reason to do all the things she's doing. Like it's one thing if she does it on behalf of Oliver or Lily or to make her dad happy, but she doesn't. It feels more so like self. It feels a little too selfish to be a better reason. And I feel like a lot of the jokes in this episode could have been a little bit more funnier. Like Dwayne the Rock Johnson's only in a part of it when he could have done a little bit more. But having him be the one to actually stop the photographer from putting out the picture, I'm not even sure what that message shows. Like, oh, if you actually put out, you accidentally put out an embarrassing picture, you're supposed to hire Dwayne the Rock Johnson. I mean, I don't know if that's that, I don't know if that's the angle they're going for, but I guess I'm gonna have to do that next time I have a bad comment on the internet. It's so funny because it's like not relevant, but at the same time, like things are all like that now. Like that was more of a nuance. That was a more new thing back then to be so embarrassed by a post or a really embarrassing video, and to think you can get rid of it. Like now, you can't get rid of anything like that. Doesn't matter who took the picture; it's ending up on the internet somehow. This episode did a good job at like kind of jumping ahead. It was definitely ahead of its time. But was it as good as the other episodes in the second season? No. The second season had like 30 episodes, and this one was one of the ones that I don't think needed to be there. So I'm not super happy about it, but I had to put something down. So thank you guys for listening to me on this one. Oh my gosh, what the heck? I'm sorry, guys. This is so. Okay. Whatever. I gotta keep going. My priorities is film this video. But can you hear me now when I'm doing it? I'm gonna try to like put you right here at my mic. Try that. Can you guys hear me? Okay, let me go on YouTube on my app and see what's up. Sleepwalk this way. Season 2, episode 11. Mm. Hi, I'm good. How are you doing, Tyler? Can you hear me? Sorry, I'm trying to figure out how this live stream's going. Hmm. Let's move on from that. I gotta keep doing my relevant, but at the same time, going. Let's move on from that. I gotta keep doing my